everybody, and welcome to the Moto3 Catalan Grand Prix full race replay. We weren't able to bring you this live, but we have completed the whole race once again so you can watch along with us. Now, to sync up, we are going to start when the world feed ident comes in and the starting grid begins. You can sync up on your recordings when there are 3 riders on the grid and you hear the noise beep from the klaxon to indicate 2 minutes until the formation lap. Let's go over then for the Catalan Grand Prix. It's the Moto3 Catalan Grand Prix from the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Ivan Altolo on pole position alongside is Dennis Onchu and Joe Kelso. Then on row 2, Juan Masia alongside Matteo Bertoletti and Takuki Suzuki as well. Colin Vigia has been declared unfit for this race. He will not be taking part, so he will drop off the timing screen at the end of the race. Jose Antonio Ruda is 7th from Stefano Nepa and Kaito Toba. Ricardo Rossi, Daniel Holgado and David Alonso join the back as well. Starting from the back of the grid is Roman Fenati as well. And he has to also serve a long lap penalty. Sasaki 13th from Faurizio. Then Scott Ogden 15th. Filippo Ferrario alongside Diego Monreal and David Salvador in 18th position. Further down, we see David Munoz in 19th from Yusu Yakamanako as well in 20th. Maji Ajo 21st. Javier Ortega's 22nd. David Almanza is then ahead of Lorenzo Felon. Then it's Busararo ahead of Whiteley and Calisto. Asman at the back, as we said, Roman Fenati. The warm-up lap is underway then here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya here in Spain. You can see the stats below us. Track temperature 27 degrees, air temperature 25. It's 80 Fahrenheit, 77 degree air temperature Fahrenheit. 8 mile per hour wind, that's 18 kilometres blowing in from the east around this circuit. Let's check in then with our commentators over at BT and see what they make today.
I suppose that's where not having a warm-up comes into it.
Yeah, it usually in morning warm-up you get a feeling for what the track conditions are like, and especially the wind and what direction it's blowing in and how hard and how that affects the gear. And so we haven't had as much of a tailwind this weekend. Will be a little bit of guesswork for the engineers. I did ask Joel if he was going to change it, but there's always the risk. So if you make it a little bit taller, you do affect the other gears, your 4th gear out of the last corner, for example, or 2nd and 3rd gear on the slower section. So you maybe lose a little bit of punch off the turns, but
yep, and Daniel Holgado in the championship on 161 points. He is our championship leader. There's going to be a lot to look forward to going into today. There's so much intrigue, so much action, and everybody knows exactly how important it is for this Moto3 race to go unaffected. There's a little bit of chance of rain in the air as well. Blowing in late throughout the day, there's a chance. Flag to flag might be the case for MotoGP later, but it's looking good. Let's check in with our boys.
With Ethan Guevara stretching out the group. So, with the lack of grip here, with these conditions, how do you see this one panning out?
There are a few. I think Jama Masia is one with a pace that could stretch a little bit of a group at the front, but the likes of Ayumu Sasaki, he's the one who normally gets into the group, and he's got work to do from the 5th row of the grid. So I think it will be a bit more of a bunch race. Yeah, look for a Holgado coming to the front, although he doesn't quite have the pace this weekend to stretch it. So, yeah, I do see it, the old school classic, a bit of a slipstreaming affair down on the run to turn 1.
Yeah, we saw this, didn't we, a couple of years ago when everyone was basically doing this in the middle of the race. Yeah, Holgado doesn't quite look to have the speed, but what he's shown, I think we'll see early on, is he likes to be in that front group and likes to even lead.
Yeah, racecraft-wise, Danny's set himself out from the rest of the Moto3 riders this year. He always shuffles his way to the front of the pack, makes critical overtakes at the right moment of the race, so I think he'll be in there right from the early laps.
We're getting set then for the Moto3 Catalan Grand Prix here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Ivan Ortola pole position, followed then by Dennis Onchu, coming in with Joel Kelso to complete the front row. Ortola is on the right-hand side of our TV pictures. That's left-hand side of the track. Red flag getting up. There is Aleix Spargo, winner of the sprint yesterday, MotoGP. Green flag at the back. Her attention turns to the 5 red lights with just one goal. Victory in Catalunya as we are underway. It's a good start for the middle of the row. Perfect perfect start from Dennis Onchu. Championship leader hits the front as well. Ortola comes in second position. Joe Kelso down to third position. Then Linus third as we come down towards the first corner. Heavy on the brakes. Onchu takes the lead. Coming around the outside. There goes Juan Masia trying to take third and maybe second position. Nearly takes out third place of Joe Kelso. They're all round cleanly so far as we come through turn 3. It's Ortola who's now in second position. Onchu leads ahead of him. And then they're all going to filter in. There's Juan Masia trying to have a look on the inside to Joe Kelso into the braking zone. Don't think he's going to get through there. Well, it's a clean start from everybody, which is exactly what we wanted to see and exactly what we needed as they hurtle downhill towards turn number 5. And already Salvador's ahead of Ferroli. Joshua Whiteley's down to 27th position. Anna Carisso has dropped to 29th place. On the timing screen, we've already confirmed as well that Vija will not be racing in this one. Ferroli getting ahead there, Hardy dropping down, everyone's dropping down the order. Almanza down to 22nd position. And now Kelso's on the back of Ortola as well as Felipe Farinho has dropped down to 16th position as well. Stefano Nepa up in 10th. So the timing towers adjusting quite well around this circuit as we come down towards turn 10. Look at Masia on the inside line of bike 5, trying to take third position away from Kelso. He's got it. Ruda trying to pass as well up there with Matteo Belletti in 5th position. Toba getting ahead in the middle pack, but Onchu takes a wide line through turn 11. Swoops it back through into turn 12 as well in the last corner at turn 13 here. Back on the power. Great exits that come across the start line. So, Fanati, there's his double long lap penalty. Remember, that's one coming up at least on his control board. So, lap 1 is complete here at the Catalan Grand Prix. Onchu leads it from Ortola, Masia, Kelso. They're all slipstreaming like mad down towards turn 1. Masia has the inside line to get ahead and does so of Ortola on the inside line. Coming up as well, there's a battle going on. That is Kelso and Bertoletti over 4th position now, as Monrella passes Farizzo and Ronaldo Fanati has taken the first of his long lap penalties. No jump starts, say the race control officials, which is perfect news for us as we see David Alonso trying to take on the inside of Bertoletti and Kelso, and going through that Daniel Holgado, I think, making some moves. Was it Ruda passing along? Yeah, it's Ruda passing Bertoletti and Suzuki battling out. David Alonso up 7 places. Munoz up 6 places. Biggest winners on the start there. Biggest loser on the start, Riccardo Rossi down 4 places. Scott Ogden moves up into 20th place then as they all come through. Alonso passing Ruda makes it better. Masia has passed Ortola. And now we're seeing as well Sasaki right up behind Stefano Nepa for 9th position. On the inside then, down towards turn 10, Masia going for the lead on Onchu, not going to work out. Meantime, Kelso passes Ortola for 3rd position. Ortola down to 4th. Fanati's completed 1 long lap penalty. Ortola trying to swing round the outside and hasn't worked out. Kelso keeps 3rd position. Farizzo in 15th. Riccardo Rossi down to 16th place. Onchu just trying to keep out front and hold it together. Really is pushing the boat out here. As Onchu, Masia, Kelso, Ortola, big slipstream on the inside line there from Stefano Nepa. Gets ahead of Suzuki and Sasaki in the mid-packs. They come across the line. Everyone's setting fast lap time. Yeah, Nepa's past Berry and Suzuki as well. Onchu's coming a bit under pressure now from Masia down towards turn 1. He's got the inside line and with better drag as well. Onchu goes laying the brakes. Masia turns in. They're side by side. Masia should have the exit power to cut him off and does so. Round the outside then at 1 and 2. Juan Masia takes the lead of the Catalan Grand Prix. Dennis Onchu down into 2nd position. Daniel Holgado with a 1:48.902 has the fastest lap of the race then as they continue to push uphill towards turn number 4. So, long lap penalty for Roman Fanati, number 2, we understand might have been taken, which is great news as they exit down towards turn 5. Kelso's looking on the inside of Onchu, not going to work out just there as they will continue to push through. Masia from Onchu, gap already a 10th of a second. Onchu holding everybody up now in the middle of the pack. They're going to have to start separating them again soon because it's just not on. Masia, Onchu, Kelso, Alonso all coming through. Ortola, Ruda, Bertoletti up into 7th position. Stefano Nepa in 8th. Daniel Holgado 9th. 1:48.902 for him. Suzuki takes 10th position as they come in towards the braking zone, and Masia just about sweeps in and cuts off the entire field, who tried to lunge up the inside. Now we're in the drone's camera angle, looking above the circuit. Really close stuff between them now. There we see Kelso. That's not Kelso, that's Suzuki trying to go around the outside of Hologado over 9th to 10th position. Masia still holding on at the front there. The gap 0.167, as you can see on your timing screens, the same as me. And Alonso comes in now for 3rd position, getting a much greater exit out of the last corner of New Holland. Onchu now under a bit of pressure here, but he's got in the toe of Masia, so Masia's going to lose the lead here to Dennis Onchu, who's almost on the grass. He's over the white line, massively down the start-finish straight. Masia has to back out of that one. Onchu not giving up, seizes his way through the inside line, but Masia with much better brakes keeps it through. Onchu stays 2nd. Alonso down into 3rd position as they will continue. Right round now into turn 3. Suzuki passing Munoz, Frenzo passing Rossi, Artegas passing Almanza. Oh, and side by side, that is a great move from David Alonso to keep 3rd position. Kelso with Ortola, Ruda and Nepa all getting involved there. So Alonso has taken 3rd position. Ruda's in a battle with Stefano Nepa. Nepa's on the inside line coming to turn 5. Ruda's been kicked out wide, slipping through on the inside now. Will come Ortola and Nepa going through, and Hologado. Bertoletti there too. Now Alonso is on the inside line at turn 7 and 8 to get ahead of Onchu. Here's the race start. Now, watch for the race pole sitter of Dennis Onchu. Didn't get too great a start. That belonged to P2 on the grid as they came through, but Onchu had the lead by the time we got down to turn 1. Michael Everton,
Take the lead early on.
Yeah, you can look, David Alonso's back there with the Yumi Sasaki in behind the 658 machine of Tuba, but he's already up into the top 3 in this race, so he fights so hard in the early laps to make his way through to the front pack.
So much going on at the moment in this race, and that at the back is Anna Carisso, who has dropped to 29th place and is 7 seconds behind the race leader, but 2 seconds behind Asman, who is in 28th position. Now we're having a look at the live championship battle. Hologado leads on 169 points to Dennis Onchu, who is on 144. Exactly 25 points back in the championship standings at the moment as they lead down towards turn 1. Onchu's got the inside line. He's going to try and take the attack back on the inside. David Alonso sweeping through to take the race lead on the outside line. The clean racing line to turn 1. He's managed to get the brakes on sorted. And well done, David Alonso. A nice clean move from him. He takes the lead here. Ortola now moves within 40 points of the championship lead. Alonso leads. Onchu, Kelso, Masia, Ortola, Nepa, Ruda, Hologado, Munoz and Suzuki the top 10. For Bertoletti, Sasaki, Rossi, Toba and Frenzo, the last of the points paying positions at the moment. We're on lap 5 of 18. We've got 14 laps to go. Alonso's gone a bit too wide coming out of turn 4. Onchu's looking completely menacing as well to try and find a way through on the inside. Oh, got a crasher in the background. Crasher in the background. Yellow flag out sector 2. Is it Asman? I'm not. Who's dropped down? Filippo Farilio has dropped down. And it is the number 7 of Farilio has crashed out. And that's on the timing monitor now. So Filippo Faroli has crashed out at turn 4 as Ruda's dropped down to 11th place as well. Munoz, Hologado, Bertoletti, Suzuki jumping up. There is Farilio, who is up and walking away. And I think it's going to be... Oh, it is. It's contact further back. I think with Scott Ogden. So, yeah, a little contact there with Scott Ogden, I think. Some moves going on in the midfield. That is Ortola up at 3rd position, passing Juan Masia, who's dropped back massively now. So Masia in 4th. Alonso will come through then to lead a lap here of the Moto3 Catalan Grand Prix on lap 5 of 18. Across the line we go then. More action to come. And Onchu's right behind them now, down towards the first corner. 13 to go. And Alonso just about holds it back. They're trying to go side by side. And that's going to be Ortola looking around the outside. Masia's come through from nowhere to take 2nd position away from Dennis Onchu. It's in between Ferroli is currently under investigation. Onchu stays then in 3rd position. So it's Alonso, Masia, Onchu, Ortola, Nepa, top 5. There's someone going very wide out there. Can't pick, I think it's Ruda, who's in 9th. Yeah, it was Ruda. And a bit of pressure. There's spots of water on the camera lens. Hopefully that's just moisture. There's no sign of rain at the moment on any of our timing screens up here in the commentary box. Alonso keeping it. Whoa! Big slide from Alonso to turn 5. That's going to the door wide open. And Nepa and Ortola. Nepa's on the inside line, forcing his way through on Ortola. Now that hasn't worked out. Ortola's still ahead, and Nepa's now been passed by Holgado round the outside. Everything just changing dramatically here. Kelso's down to 11th? No, 10th. As the timing screen sorts itself out. So look how quickly Kelso's dropped back from the race leader this one as well. And now Alonso's under pressure from Masia, who's under pressure from Ortola. And around the outside of Ortola comes Dennis Onchu. And Onchu's going to really attack Ortola. He's going to hold it around the outside at turn 10. Ortola on the inside there with better traction and better power is able to hold the nerve and keep through on the inside line. So there is a lot of action to contend with here. There is 13 laps to go, and the action still is riping up here. It's looking fantastic. Ripe for the picking is this Moto3 field for future talent. It is brilliant. As they come down the straight we go. Alonso leads with Masia. Ortola side by side with Onchu as we try and get a long look at the field. The pit board's out. Barely anybody can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders side by side. Alonso loses the lead down to 5th. And round now into the lead, I believe, goes Daniel Holgado. Is it Masia or Holgado? No, it's Holgado, Onchu, Masia. 1, 2, 3. Holgado jumps up massively now. Ortola 4th. Munoz 5th, Alonso down to 6th, 6 wide, coming into the first corner, and just touching the red paint was Masia. He'll get a warning for that, as he's got ahead of him Dennis Onchu, who's on the 53 back in number 2. Now, Holgado leads the title now by 42 points to Dennis Onchu. As things stand, the championship leader leads here in Moto3 from Onchu 2nd, Sasaki 3rd, Ortola 4th in the title hunts of the situation. Let's check over with TNT.
This is what it's like to be in a Moto3 race. Up through turn 8.
On board with Sasaki.
Love to see it down towards turn 10. That's where you really want to see it. When suddenly everyone slams on the brakes and all these 8 bikes ahead of you fan out across the track. Look
exactly.
At it.
You see the bikes just fan out.
On
you
2
don't know
seconds.
Left or right. Munoz goes left every time, straight down the inside.
Of course he does. Of course he does. And Jabba Masia forced to pick up his knee. Again, you can just see the tight line that David Munoz just fires it into an apex.
I gotta say, I'm impressed always with his aggression, and he's doing it cleaner than ever. So in his first year, he did ruffle a few feathers, upset a lot of riders, but now he's more in control. He's always the aggressor, but he does it with a little bit more clinical precision.
He rode through a few legs last year, didn't he? As he looks across to Ivan Ortola through that final corner.
And look at the first few as well as Holgado holds on. Now it's a mad rush down towards the braking zone. Holgado under pressure from Onchu in towards turn 1. It's a massive fan effect into the braking zone of the first corner. Holgado leads Onchu, then it's Munoz. No, it's Masia. It's Masia ahead of Munoz, and Onchu has taken the lead of the race. You can't keep up with the amount of craziness that is going on here in the Moto3. Everything changing once again. Oh, and that's a little bit of a battle now on the inside line. Got to be careful. That's Munoz trying to that's Munoz been passed by Alonso. So Alonso's up into 4th position. Munoz is down now to 5th position as they turn in, have the power once more, back on the accelerator. 11 laps to go. Onchu, Holgado, Masia, Alonso, Munoz, Ruda, Nepa, Sasaki, Suzuki, Ortola, Rossi, Yamanaka, Toba, Bertoletti, Frizzo. That's the 15 points, and it's changing just as I say about it. It's getting quite difficult to actually keep up with what we're seeing now as they exit the last corner. Down the straight we go once more. Oh, going very wide there. One of the riders further back, I think it was Kelso, who's dropped back. Joshua Whiteley, too, in 26th position. He could have been. No further action against Ferroli as well. Salvador has been given a track limit this morning, so it was Salvador who is in 15th position. It couldn't be Salvador who's in 15th position. He wasn't on that bike, so the computer's timing screen's getting it a little bit wrong there. As they will take a look through. 11 to go. Onchu, 2 tenths ahead of Holgado. As up the inside, Munoz making a lovely move on Alonso for 4th position. And Alonso would not like that one bit. He's going to get in the slipstream. Now he's under pressure from Ruda. And look, a little bit of a fly there from Munoz, a little bit of a hand behind there going, no, you stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. As they're coming towards the braking zone. A lot of tension towards turn one. Masia has taken second position. Masia takes second on the inside line, so they have swept over places. We thought they might have a go. Deniz Öncü, though, once again leads this race. The Turkish rider who's won 2 races this year, last time out as well. An absolutely tremendous run around that they're going to have right now as they will turn once again, just holding it together. It's a crazy, crazy Moto3, but it's exactly what we like to see. 10 to go, lap 9 of 18. We are halfway there, and it's still crazy. Öncü from Masia. Let's check in with TNT.
Stretch it out.
The safest place for these top riders is right at the front, isn't it? And that's where Yuno Sasaki, I know he's sitting tight at the moment. We just have to be careful at this stage of the race. We're coming up to the halfway point. We're 9.5 to go out of the 18. And so there'll be a point where Sasaki will know, I've got to get to the front here.
Yeah, but his progression has been
Masia second.
thwarted somewhat by obviously attacks from behind. It looks like Ricardo Rossi's about to move on the inside of him there, but he's not moving forward as quick as I expected. So yeah, it's a bit of a struggle right now.
David Alonso in the middle of that front group in 5th place on the number 80. Fantastic win for him in a similar kind of race in Silverstone, really, wasn't it? One of those where it was hard to work out, but he worked it out perfectly on the last lap.
Yeah, he's actually been really clever in his racing this year, being able to position himself exactly where he needed to be at the right time in the race, and that's such a difficult thing to do in Moto3.
So Deniz Öncü a 149.3, Masia a 149.1. The front group of the top 13, 8 of them with personal best laps on that one, because Öncü is pushing the pace here.
Yeah, stretching it out, and you can see it's Masia will comfortably go at that pace, but I think for Munoz and Holgado, not so easy. I think David Alonso has the pace to go with the lead too, though.
At the moment, I would agree. As we come through, 9 to go. There's David Munoz, best finish second in class. Of course, Catalonia 22, Portugal 23. That was the running order. Moves going on in the mid-pack. Let's see the second sector delta time to see if anybody's turning up any reds. They're all coming through yellow. Oh, and Fellon's been given a long lap penalty. Lorenzo Fellon, shortcut at turn 2, I'm being told. So that's his race done then. Yep, it was. He did get multiple track limits warnings as well. Yeah, track limits warning for Farizza coming through now as well. And track limits warning for Ruda as well the lap before. You get 3 of those, you get a penalty. So they've got to take care, they've got to understand what they're doing, where they're going, and how to actually get along with it correctly. But 9 laps to go. Öncü from Masia, Holgado, Munoz, Alonso. That's the running order. Look at that from Masia. Such a run on Öncü coming out of turn 11. He's going to take it through 12, and he's going to have the power. Exit of the last corner, gives it the throttle once more, keeps on the pressure. Is he quicker across this line? He's got a good exit on Öncü, Masia hasn't. So Alonso's now under attack from Munoz as they come across the line. Ruda, another track limits warning, flashed up on the timing screen. So he's going to have to be careful with that one, as that's Holgado, championship leader, taking second position back from Masia. Masia's under pressure here from the inside of Munoz, and Munoz takes third. So that's Masia down the order. And that's Holgado taking second. Away from Munoz, had a go at him. Didn't work out. Munoz is not going to be allowed to go back through there, I'm afraid. Masia wants this back. Ruda's been told of his track limits warning. Well, you've got to be, really. You can't just be allowed to let it continue. Got to be warned. A lot of slipstreaming now coming through on the inside line. Öncü from Holgado, Munoz, Masia, Alonso. And Fanati's back up into 19th position. He's passed Diego Monrella, and Holgado still in P2. Munoz trying to get through, but he's trail gaining behind him. Here's a replay, BT.
On board, there was the little nudge.
Just a little tap.
David Munoz and Jaume Masia. I mean, you should probably show about 20 of those already, couldn't you? You had a highlights reel of David Munoz's career till now.
Yeah, they should fit him with an onboard camera at every race, because he is all action. He'll always get close. He'll always brush someone at some point.
8 laps to go then. And this incredible battle of the race is still going on. It's so energetic. Not one difficulty, not one issue. They're all keeping up with it. Really is a thumbs up situation as they turn once more. Gently ease the throttle as they head down towards turn number 1. Holgado leads the title by 32 points to Dennis Onchi. It might be a bit more than that in a second for Onchi to close back in, because we got Munio and Messia trying to get past in towards turn number 1. And there goes Messia, passing Munio at least for 3rd. So Holgado, for this lap at least, is saved the pain. There's a few that, oh, that's Messia now up to 4th. 56 points back in the standings, as they will take it once more. So the action will be coming up quite soon, because this always reaches a crescendo. Moto3, the ending is always fun, especially this packed race again. There goes Munio on the inside of Alonso at turn 5. So Munio takes 4th, Alonso down to 5th, and everyone now just trying to adjust themselves, and that's Messia trying to have a go on the inside line. Holgado, oh, I thought it was no contact there. Oh, Lorenzo Fellon, incorrect long lap penalty. He has now received a long lap penalty. So another one for Lorenzo Fellon, but he's already down in 26th position anyway, so. But them's the rules. Yep, Fellon long lap penalty. Those are the rules, I'm afraid. It's David Alonso having a little battle on the inside line. That's Alonso staying ahead of Nepa. Messia has passed Holgado at turn 10. Messia takes 2nd place here in the Catalan Grand Prix. That's really going to annoy Holgado, because now he's going to have Munoz right behind him. And David Munoz will keep on the attack. Out of the last corner, he's also got Alonso towing. So Onchi might just live to fight another day here. 6 to go across the line. Onchi, Messia, Holgado slipping and sliding down towards turn 1. Holgado keeps his line clear to the inside. And he goes side by side with Onchu in towards turn 1. Holgado leads, Onchi 2nd, Alonso to 3rd, gets ahead of Munoz, Messia down to 5th. But it's Holgado who takes the lead. Really close stuff down towards turn 1. He's got a bit too wide though. Is that going to give Onchu a little bit of a slipstream? Well, he's thinking about it. It's not working out the way you thought it would. Really dramatic race going on right now. A lot. Oh, and Holgado going wide. Onchu still coming through. He's going to be there the entirety of this one. I think, around about, I'm trying to work it out for you, 12, 13 riders in the fight. Maybe a lot more. Last one in the contention. I think it's Yamanaka, so it's 14 maybe. Gap between Holgado and Onchu in the championship is 42 points. Holgado walking away with this one. Now 42, so it does change again. But Holgado, it's only halfway in the season, remember? As Messia touches the green, here's a super slow-mo long lap.
For the championship, the gap is 26 points between himself and Holgado. But then it's a
Munoz
further
passes
11
Nepa
back
for 3rd.
to Dennis Onchu, who obviously is in the mix at the front. But all of that means that Danny Holgado will be opening up a huge gap in the championship with 9 rounds remaining. Still such a long way to go. But Holgado, his racecraft, again, might not have had the pace all weekend. Took a lap to get going in this race, but he's gone and he just fought through and got to the front.
Yeah, well, when we spoke to Hervé, he's done that.
Oh, David Salvador, long lap penalty due to exceeding track limits. So it's a long lap penalty for Salvador as they come across the start line more towards turn number 1. Such a difficult one to get right here. Messia's in the pit lane, so is Alonso, so is everybody really, as Onchu's on the inside line and Onchu takes the lead towards turn 1. Messia gets ahead of Munoz and Alonso gets ahead of Stefano Nepa. Oh, and contact behind between Ortola and Rossi over 10th and 11th position. So just a slight knock between them, but it's all fine as they slipstream once more into the braking zone. Onchu, and Munoz track limits warning. Munoz track limits warning. So any more and it will be a penalty. So he's been warned not to do it again. Otherwise, and Messia's got way back now. So Messia's just lost it completely, but he's stayed in 3rd position. Suzuki had a moment as well in towards turn 5. Ruder's up to 7th, but with the track limits warning. And Salvador, I think, has taken long lap yet. No, he has not, according to the timing screens. He's not taken the long lap penalty just yet. He's going to wait to see where that comes out. Onchu, Holgado, Masia, Munoz, Alonso. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think there's now around about. I'm trying to find out who's last in the queue there. I think it's Yamanaka. So 14 riders. Everyone inside the points paying positions. It's Fenati who's 15th. That's surprising me. Fenati had a double long lap penalty in this race, and he's still managed to get up to 15th position. Masia has taken Holgado again down at turn 11. Masia has taken 2nd position, and he wants the lead away from Dennis Onchu as they come round turn number 13 into 14 at New Holland. And Masia has got a good slipstream down the straight now. He's not going to hold this one up any longer. Down we go once more. Onchu, Masia, Holgado, Munoz, Alonso. Ruder's up to 6th position, passing Stefano Neppe. And they all slipstream down towards turn number 1. Masia goes to the inside line to take the lead. Hasn't worked out. Holgado can't get ahead either. And neither can Munoz. So it's status quo to turn 1. Bar Stefano Neppe, who gets ahead of Ruder and Sasaki passing Neppe as well. So it's all changing now. They are changing and slipstreaming dramatically. 4 laps to go in this race as they slipstream on the inside line. And Onchu takes the lead from Masia. Onchu taking the lead away from Masia. So they're still battling to find out. Munoz in 4th place. So, oh, hang on, air temperature 25 degrees. We've just been told now by race control. Useful, I know, but sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Onchu leads. And Holgado stays in 3rd position ahead of Munoz. Neppe's past Sasaki. Otola's past Suzuki as they come through in the battles. And there's the official change as Masia is 2nd, Holgado 3rd, Munoz 4th. Now, can Masia do the same trick he did to Holgado twice to get ahead of Onchu down towards turn 10? He's thinking about it. He's in the wheel tracks, brakes early. Onchu brakes a lot later, carries so much more speed through turn 10. He picks up a super late apex and he just turns you in as well. It's got more grip out there. And Masia will be noting that down. Whether he's brave enough to try, I don't know. Long lap penalty for Fallon has been completed. I think Salvador's done it as well. Somewhere along the timing screens. Holgado now 28 points ahead to Onchu in the standings. That's with Onchu leading and Holgado in 3rd position. Not picking up many points as they come down across the line. Masia goes to the right. Onchu stays to the left. That's the inside line. Masia takes the lead. And now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide and towards turn 1. Holgado nearly battling with Onchu. Holgado backs out of it. And somehow it's Masia, Munoz and Alonso in a battle together as Onchu makes contact with Holgado. And Holgado drops back at just a few positions. But that was very cheeky from Onchu. He lifted the bike up, drifted into the side of Holgado. Masia leads. Munoz, Alonso, Onchu at the moment. Ruder on the inside, getting past now on Holgado. And that's getting a bit dangerous now. Holgado's going to try and get through. Ruder's there. Holgado side by side. That's tight. And he's going to get forced out wide again. Ruder stays there. And here comes Stefano Neppe on the inside line. Salvador's completed his long lap penalty. So, Onchu, Ruder, Holgado, 4, 5, 6. The Red Bulls battles, 2 with the IJO, 1 with the Tech 3. And the Tech 3 belongs to Holgado. So, Onchu's got his teammate right there now to protect him a little bit. And this was it coming through turn 1. Instant is under investigation, we understand. So, it was Holgado who was turning in. Onchu didn't pull him off, but Holgado just stuck on the outside line. Fritzo passes Artegas for 16th and 17th place. Meantime, at the front, Masia leads Munoz, Alonso. Ruder's up to 4th now. So Ruder's passed Onchu now. That wasn't part of the plan. Onchu's now under attack from Holgado as Alonso tries to attack and Ruder tries to attack everybody. Oh, and this race is going to be cataclysmic, isn't it, at the end of this one? Last lap, the call. What is going to happen? Catastrophic here. Down towards the braking zone. 2 to go. Penultimate lap of the race. Into the braking zone for turn 1. Everybody side by side. Munoz takes the lead. And then there goes Alonso on the inside line. Up into the lead of the race. Perfectly though. There goes Daniel Holgado. And he's taken David Alonso with him. Big cheer from Gas to have Alonso in second, but Hologado leads. Onchu got dropped there. He's in third place. Gap now 43 points in the standings as he tries to have a go on the inside. And now it's 1-2. So the race does change once more as they attack through. Hologado, Alonso, Onchu, Munoz, Masia, Ruda, Ortola. Now Sasaki ahead of Ortola. They are side by side massively. There is literally half the pack all in a battle to win this race. And you can't work it out. The top 14 all in the battles together. We're coming in. This is a classic Moto3. Oh, Masia touches the back of Munoz. Unbelievable stuff here. You can't write what is going to happen on this last lap. This is going to go right down to the finale again. And now Masia looks at the inside line. Alonso's going to go for it. Coming in late is Dennis Onchu. It's turn 10. Onchu goes in a bit too deep. Masia's going to try and capitalise on that one as well. Ruda on the inside line with Masia and Sasaki being forced out. So is Ortola. Ortola dropped out wide. Hologado keeps the lead of the race. It will be a last lap showdown with half the field here at Catalunya. Hologado on Alonso and Onchu. 1, 2, 3. Masia 4. Out of the last corner. Masia going for it on the inside line in the last corner. And that's put Onchu down to 4th. Last lap the call of the Catalan Grand Prix. Insane Moto3 action. Hologado holding the race lead. But now it's a slipstream between half the field down towards turn 1. Hologado keeps the inside line. Masia and Alonso go round the outside. Alonso trail breaks in. Hologado's with him. They go in deep. Hologado keeps the lead. Alonso tries to get back. Masia and Onchu make contact. Munoz is in there too. Masia tries to go on the outside of Alonso in turn 3. Alonso goes to the inside of Hologado. Not working out. Masia nearly goes down. Takes nearly Alonso with him. On the inside, late to the brakes. Masia up the inside of David Alonso. And Masia goes to second. The Spaniard moving up the Colombian. Onchu takes the tight line. Down towards turn 5. Hologado's going to lose out here to Masia in the braking zone. Masia takes the lead. Hologado's going to lose out to Alonso. Now it's Onchu versus Hologado. Side by side through turn 6. Up towards 7 and 8 the chicane. Little bit of contact between Hologado and Onchu. Onchu on the inside line. Hologado on the outside. No contact there. Onchu gets ahead of Hologado. Masia leads as we come towards Kamsa at turn 9. Masia leading, Alonso in second, Munoz third. Can anything from Onchu and Hologado come back yet? Down towards turn 10. Hologado looking to the inside of Onchu. Now we see Masia. There on the inside goes Hologado. Onchu late on the brakes. Onchu super late in on Masia. He tags Masia. And Munoz takes the lead on the inside line. Contact between the two. Really close stuff. Oh! And that's Hologado! Hologado has crashed out at turn 10. The championship leader has crashed out. Sasaki will take it into the last corner. Munoz leading. Alonso in second place. It's a drag race to the line. One corner left on the inside. Masia goes for it. Alonso goes for it. Munoz on the outside. Alonso's going to win. Ah, down! Down goes Munoz. Across the line. Alonso wins from Masia. Onchu third. Gas win again. David Alonso wins again. Munoz crashes in the line. A last lap like no other. Moto3 delivers again. And it's David Alonso who plays the long game and wins the Catalan Grand Prix. Masia second, Onchu third, Ruda fourth, Sasaki fifth, Nepa, Rossi, Toba, Suzuki, Yamanaka, Hologado crashing out. He scores no points from a 41-point gap. It's 15 now in the standings. This is a championship takes another dramatic twist. David Alonso wins superbly. Now what happened? What happened? Hologado was behind Sasaki. Onchu goes for the move on the inside line. Onchu breaks late. That takes out Masia. Hologado clips the curb and drops it on his own. Oh, such a rookie mistake. And this was, what's happened here? This is last lap, so that's, what's that dangerous about then? Onchu's being investigated. Onchu is being investigated for some reason, we're not sure yet. What's he done? Was it something in this last corner? Because it was Munoz versus Masia and Alonso. Onchu wasn't there, so did Onchu hit Munoz and we didn't see it? It's under investigation. Yes, Onchu hits the side of Munoz and forces him out. So Onchu hit the side of David Munoz, and that's what's being investigated. So Alonso gets through on Munoz, Masia goes through, there's slight contact there. Onchu comes in, barges out Munoz into the gravel at 14. And he gets a thumbs up, which is great, but Onchu's now under investigation by the stewards. Wonder what the results that's going to be then. That's so tight between them across the line. And Alonso crossed the line by 0.076 of a second. They were literally beside themselves as well as BT goes to a break. So it's Alonso from Masia, Onchu third, Ruda, Sasaki, Nepa, Rossi, Toba, Suzuki, Yamanaka is the top 10 at the moment. And Dennis Onchu, a long lap penalty due to irresponsible riding. Onchu receives a lot. No, we're being told that Onchu is going to receive a 6-second time penalty for insufficient time to complete the double long lap. So for double long lap, 6 seconds? Really? It's more than that. So Onchu does not finish on the podium. And that's big relief to Daniel Holgado. Not great for Suzuki to come through. 6 seconds confirmed for Dennis Onchu. So he will drop outside of the podium positions. I wonder where that's going to drop him on the timing screen from, 6 seconds back. So let's take a look at it now together. So 6 seconds back. Well, that puts that puts him down into 14th position. He might just get 1 point. Might just get 1 point because they were all so close at the line. But my goodness me, is that a dramatic end to this title for this race weekend for Moto3. Really is catastrophic title hunts to come through. And I'm now being told that Scott Ogden has dropped a position as well. So Scott Ogden has changed a position. Well, this championship really has done it. But one thing for sure, David Alonso wins in Moto3. An absolutely epic Moto3 race, changing every single second. We couldn't have asked for any better. Join us for the San Marino Grand Prix as well the next time we go racing for Moto3.